Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Enzo Nuccio.
So tonight I'm hosting. Normally Nora's the host, but she says she has a lot to say. So I think we should just go ahead and pop it off because everybody's been talking about this Signal Gate thing. So let's just go ahead and put it out there so the new party can put our perspective on it.
Okay, so
44
I have.
time.
Oh,
Weather is
you're playing a
favorable.
clip.
All caps. Just confirmed. I don't know why everything was in all caps. With CENTCOM, we are a go for mission launch. The Hegseth text continues. 12:15 Eastern Time. F-18's launch. All caps. First strike package. 13:45. Trigger-based F-18 first strike window starts. Parentheses. Target terrorist at his known location, so should be on time. Also, strike drone launch. MQ-9s. MQ-9s are the Reaper drones. And then, and obviously to just make this point, it's like everybody on this chain is getting texts about an attack that hasn't even launched yet. And if this signal chat had been read by an adversary of the United States, I mean, you could use your imagination where that could go. Then the Hegseth text continues, 14:10, meaning 2:10 p.m. Eastern Time. More F-18s launch, second strike package, 14:15, strike drones on target, and then in parentheses, all capital letters. This is when the first bombs will definitely drop.
Oh, my God.
Ending earlier trigger-based targets, 15:36, another 3:36 p.m. Eastern, F-18 second strike starts, also first sea-based Tomahawks launch. In other words, which weapons we're using, what time we're using them, and obviously using standoff weapons or using unmanned aircraft, obviously a different category. I mean, obviously still secret, but a different category than using piloted aircraft. And then at the end of that particular chain, he says, we are currently clean on OPSEC, meaning that's operational security. And of course, I read this, I'm sitting in my car in a Safeway parking lot reading, we are currently clean on OPSEC. And, parentheses, except for the fact that you're mistakenly sending this to the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic.
And in a Safeway parking lot.
In a Safeway parking lot, a grocery run delayed there.
So Nora, in a Safeway parking lot, you seem to be the person that's MAGA, especially the new party, that seems to be the most upset with the Trump administration. So what do you think about Jeff Goldberg being in the group chat with Pete Hegseth with the confidential information?
So first of all, I have the 80-20 rule. I am happy with Trump 80% of the time, but there's 20% that I have to critique him on. I cannot be in this industry, say I'm doing journalism, say I'm doing podcasting, and not being critical. We have people, and I'm not just saying on our podcast, but in general, that worship Trump. And unfortunately, we have to be critical because we are delivering the news. We are the media, okay? That's number one. Number two, I think the Trump administration is doing a phenomenal job, much better than the Biden administration. Let me start with that. But incompetence is incompetent, okay? We can't sit there and be critical of the left and be not critical of the right in the same way. We can't sit there. If this was under Biden, he would have been out, okay? He would have been out. Let me break down what's the definition of war. Let's start with that. A conflict carried on by force of arms, as between nations or between parties within a nation, warfare as by land, sea, or air. He named out the planes. He named out the times. He named out the targets in a text message. First of all, I talked to multiple people that work for the military, current and former, and actively working for the government. Everybody has told me the same thing. That was not protocol what he did. That was leaking information. That's not appropriate. I mean, I don't understand why this is a partisan issue and not a bipartisan issue. We should all be in agreement that this was incompetence. Okay, the leak of operational detail lands a little differently with military veterans and especially with active duty troops who can be discharged and prosecuted for much lower level leaks. So, number one, Pete Hegseth, bro, you got to go. You should not have been talking about this through text message. Number two, the dude that added this journalist, which I don't even believe, I believe these are screenshots. I believe somebody leaked this to him. And why they leaked this to somebody that clearly hates Trump, he needs to go to the Michael Wall person. He needs to go too. So I'm not just saying Pete Hegseth, but the reality is we really need to stop the cap, y'all. I understand y'all are pro Trump. I understand we're excited that we have a right administration, but we are looking more like the do nothing Democrats because we are sitting here and doing nothing. This is very performative and we need to hold people accountable. And that's where I dropped the mic.
Wow, that was a lot to digest. But Enzo, what do you think? Is this a strike against the Trump administration? Like, because they said they were going to hire the best people, and then this happened. So, what's your thoughts?
I couldn't have said it better, Nora. I'm in complete agreement with you. I think, in all honesty, I think Hegseth should resign after that. In all honesty, that's something right there where if that got into the wrong hands, a lot of people could be at risk. A lot of lives could be at risk. That's not something you mess around with. That was like, granted, yes, it's against the Houthis and there's really nothing they can do. But like I said, if it got into the wrong hands, like Iran or something like that, those ships and those planes, they could have been taken out easily. So Hegseth absolutely should resign after that. I was never really a big fan of him from the beginning. Like I've seen his credentials, but I didn't really see how qualified he was compared to Trump's when he was in office the first time. He had Mad Dog Mathis in there. Nobody that takes that position after Mad Dog, in my eyes, is really qualified. That dude right there is the truth. Hegseth, no way.
Well, yeah, he was in the National Guard, and really he spent most of his time on Fox News. So he was working at Fox News most of the time, or he was in school. So since you guys keep talking about Pete Hegseth, let's see what he said when he was confronted with what was going on.
Information about war plans against the Houthis in Yemen was shared with a journalist in the Atlantic, and were those details classified?
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again, to include
Of course.
I don't know, the hoaxes of Russia, or the fine people on both sides hoax, or suckers and losers hoax. So this is the guy that peddles in garbage.
So yeah,
it's funny he mentions Russia. He has a Russia email address that came out today too.
He has it.
Yeah.
Well, and his response was just like very defensive. It didn't feel like a good response. So, Enzo, you were talking about Pete Hegseth. Do you feel like his response was wrong?
Absolutely. That was like narcissism 101. First thing when you get caught in a lie is you're going to be defensive about it and call somebody else out. That's exactly what I saw. I'm like, if he would have went about that a different way, I wouldn't be thinking the way that I think about him. Like, why are you just being straight up defensive and saying Russia with this guy? Like, I get it. He is a discredited news journalist at the end of the day. But you could go about it a different way and say that instead of just pointing the finger saying, this guy, let's ask the question. Why was everybody in that chat and nobody noticed a random number? That's the biggest question to me. I get in the group chats all the time. I'm like, bro, who the fuck put me in this group chat? These are our nation's leaders. Come on now.
Absolutely. Nora, Kaizen, a friend of the show, he was talking about how Pete Hegseth didn't have a good reaction. He was someone that I was shocked because he's super MAGA too, that actually critiqued the administration. So for you, are you with Enzo that Pete Hegseth needs to quit?
I'm not shocked by it, guys. Let me be honest with you. All the honest journalists and all the honest podcasters are calling it out. It's only those that are a part of the Trump cult that don't see a problem with it. It's only those that are actually really part of MAGA cult. Like, you are a part of a cult if you can't question this out. And if you're calling yourself the new media, you should be asking these questions and asking for answers for the American people. I don't see this as a bipartisan issue or a partisan issue. This is something that the American people should be concerned about. And also, the other thing that concerned me is some of the things that they were saying. They were like saying that this benefits Europe, but then 3% of it benefits us because we use the channel. So why the heck would we bomb someone if it only benefits us for 3%? The reality is it benefits one country only, who they minorly glazed over, and we can't question it. So that's, to me, is the biggest problem right now. And I'm not going to say the country's name, but that is where people are really questioning, like, why would we do this if it only benefits us? And if it benefits Europe, like, why are we not asking them for money? Like, there were so many questions with the back and forth that they had.
Well, Pete Hegseth does have a pass. So there were some accusations asked by Congress to people who were close to Pete Hegseth. So here's the video to see what people asked about him.
Before he leaked classified information.
I don't have any knowledge of Secretary Hegseth's personal habits.
Director Radcliffe, same question. Yes or no?
No, I'm going to answer that. I think that's an offensive line of questioning. The answer is no. I find it interesting that you want to. I'm going to answer. You asked me a question. Do you want an answer?
No, listen.
You don't want to focus on the good work that the CIA is doing, that the intelligence community.
Director, I reclaim my time. Director, I reclaim my time. Here, I have huge respect for the CIA. Huge respect for our men and women in uniform. But this was a question that's on the top of minds of every American, right? He stood in front of a podium in Europe holding a drink. So, of course, we want to know if his performance is compromised. If people were asking if the General Austin was compromised because of a heart issue,
was his performance compromised because of a successful strike?
Back. Mr. I bring my
You want to know? You want to talk about accepting responsibility? Do you think you should accept responsibility for a successful strike to make Americans safer? You want to focus on.
So what was being said was that asking, was Pete Hegseth drunk? I don't know if y'all heard that in the beginning. So Pete Hegseth was known for being National Guard and having a drinking problem. Do you guys think Pete Hegseth was drunk? Was he inebriated? Nora, I see you laughing. Do you feel like it's a possibility he could have been drunk and that's what just happened?
No, I think he serves two interests, and I alluded to it in my last answer. I think he wasn't drunk. I think he was doing the bidding for us and another country when they went and bombed Yemen. I think it was just a screw up, but he actually wasn't the screw up. He wasn't the person that added this journalist. It was his counterpart, Mike Waltz, who reports to him. So I don't think it's fair to bring up his drinking past in this. I think he's incompetent, not because of him being an alcoholic. I think he's incompetent because he doesn't know the protocols. He shouldn't have been talking about this through a text message.
Enzo, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like someone's past should be used against them when they get a political job?
I don't think it should be used against them if that's not affecting their job. If it comes out that yes, he was intoxicated while these texts were going on and everything like that, regardless if Michael Walls brought him into the group chat or not, he still should have been a sound mind to know that this person's in here. Because Michael Walls reports him at the end of the day. He should oversee that. Same thing with JD Vance. I'm putting blame on JD Vance too, because he's the next highest person in that chat. All of them have absolute blame, but I think Pete absolutely still should have to step down because of that, regardless if it has to do drinking or not.
both of you guys mentioned Michael Waltz. So let's look at a video of him actually taking responsibility, and if you guys really feel like he took responsibility.
So they want to focus on this. It's embarrassing, yes. We're going to get to the bottom of it. I just talked to Elon on the way here. We've got the best technical minds looking at how this happened. But I can tell you for 100%, I don't know this guy. I know him by his horrible reputation, and he really is the bottom scum of journalists. And I know him in the sense that he hates the president, but I don't text him. He wasn't on my phone, and we're going to figure out how this happened.
So you don't know what staffer is responsible for this right now?
Well, look, a staffer wasn't responsible, and look, I take full responsibility. I built the group. My job is to make sure everything's coordinated.
But how did the number? I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name, and then you have somebody else's number there?
I never make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
So
there's a video of the Atlantic reporter responding to this, and he basically said that the Republican Party, anytime that they get caught in anything or they look bad, they just attack, and this is just another play out of their playbook. Enzo, would you agree or disagree with what the reporter said?
It's going to be hard to say, but I agree with what he said. Because exactly, I don't think Michael Waltz is sincere whatsoever. One, you're going on Fox. Come on now. They're going to side with you regardless of whatever you say. I don't watch Fox to begin with. Two, he did not sound sincere about it all. And it's real easy to see how that guy got added, because it will say, so-and-so added this number. What do you mean you have to have Elon and his team to go through it to see what's really going on? Bro, just scroll to where it is, and you'll see the name. They just don't want to admit it. That's the problem. They want to point blame and say this guy for no reason when they're wrong. It's disgusting in my eyes, and I'm sick and tired of it.
For sure. So, Nora, do you feel like he took responsibility, or you feel like he was just blame, trying to play the blame game?
Well, another factor that I would like to tell our viewers is that his Venmo friend list was also leaked, and it included journalists on it. So for him to say he doesn't know this guy, he has no relation, might be true, but he had journalists on his Venmo list. Now, that's for you to decide. Were they sending him money? Was he sending them money? Sounds kind of fishy to me. I don't know. It sounds like he be leaking stuff and getting paid from journalists. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's what I think it sounds like. But that's for you to think and think too. That's number one. Number two, I don't think he has any remorse. I don't think he's going to learn from his mistake. And President Trump, I really hope you listen to certain MAGA loyalists, even though I don't like her. I agree with her on some things. Laura Loomer called it out and said, you need a clean house. And I'm actually going to agree with Laura Loomer. You need a clean house, starting with Pete Hegseth and Mike Welts.
So speaking of money, Snow White 2025 flopped in the box office. And it's being said that MAGA was able to keep them from getting a good showing from people coming out to see it because they didn't like what the main actress who played Snow White said. So here's what Megyn Kelly had to say about it.
Activity with this Snow White movie has been so insufferable and so narcissistic and so detached from reality. She's now bragging about the success of Snow White, which is a movie that's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. And mainly because of her and because nobody wanted to support her, she did on camera say that members of Trump's movement and anyone who disagrees with her doesn't have to go show up and give her any more money. And I guess people followed suit. There are empty theaters all around the country. We are now at a 1 out of 10 on IMDb for the new Snow White. And it couldn't happen to a better person. What is the lesson to be learned here with this Snow White disaster?
Yeah, we had more dwarfs than we did viewers in most of these theaters. And as you know, there were no dwarfs other than some CGI weird generated version of them. It's the old, it truly is go woke, go broke, but also don't alienate half of the country when you're putting out a product meant to appeal to all. It's the Michael Jordan Republicans buy sneakers too. And she didn't just come out. It would have been bad enough if she had just come out and said, please, please, please vote for Kamala Harris. Trump is dangerous. That's not smart when you're headlining a film like this that's meant to have mass appeal. Republicans have children too. That's not smart. But she went so much further than that, right? She said she hopes that neither Trump nor any of his supporters ever know peace. She told Trump and all of his supporters to F off. She was out there lecturing us on how we needed to vote for Kamala Harris or we could unfollow her. There's tape of her saying, for every one of the 18 hours I am in the Snow White dress, I expect to get paid. If it's 18 hours, I want 18 hours of pay. I'm sure she got underpaid as a Disney lead actress or as a Steven Spielberg lead actress in West Side Story. Boo effing who? People have real problems and no one gives a shit if she got paid for 17 instead of 18 on her multi-million-dollar salary, which is not calculated by the hour. So she just encapsulates everything that most of us cannot stand about modern day feminism and the left in general. And Hollywood, they hate the right. They hate Trump. It's not enough to dislike the candidate. You have to hate him and hate his supporters. This weird feminist thing where her heroine cannot be in love or be saved by a man, the prince, that she's more focused on becoming the leader she was meant to be, as if women in modern day America must make that choice. You cannot both be a leader as a female and fall in love and be rescued by a prince. Like, that's incongruous bullshit. That's only the left's version of what it means to be a strong woman or female empowerment. So, this woman has clicked every box. And just for cherry on top at the end, she gave an interview last week talking about how they were basically a bunch of white supremacists on the set of West Side Story, where Steven Spielberg and co. were demanding that she prove how Latina she really is, since her name doesn't sound Latina. And she was angrily saying, did I have to bring in my little abuelita for you to believe that I was Latina? That's her thanks to Steven Spielberg, who discovered her and made her. So she's an ingrate, she's annoying, and I think she's probably two and done.
Do you think your career's over after this?
I do.
And it's been poison. And
Yeah,
it's been
she's knocked
so
off as poison.
poisonous. And if she hadn't have opened her mouth, I think that this movie might have done well. They might have just been able to ride on the hopium of the movie and some well-cut trailers, and people would have paid to go see it. And then it would have fallen off when people knew it was garbage. But Rachel Ziegler made it so hateable that you really sabotaged and took hundreds of millions of dollars from the studio. I don't know how anyone would ever want to go into business with her ever again.
Do you know how hard it is to find an attractive young woman in Hollywood who can act and sing? It's not hard. Who just isn't going to offend half the country. There'll be 25,000 more just like her knocking on the same doors that she had open to her. She had the opportunity of a lifetime. And instead of being humble and grateful, she was entitled and a snot. And I will look forward to her not getting cast in any more movies for a long time until she actually does learn something about humanity and humility.
Oh, I got a lot to say. I actually saw the movie.
You guys are MAGA. Enzo, I'm sure you didn't see the movie, so I guess I have to go to Nora first. But before I go to you, Nora, and I'll probably play this clip at the end because we all live, me and Nora live in Florida, and Enzo did live in Florida. It happens on both sides. Florida was completely empty for spring break because of what Ron DeSantis passed before. You heard about that? So, but I might play that at the end, but
okay.
Go ahead, Nora.
So let me say this. The right has totally taken over this as they're the reason why this movie bombed. But I'm going to be real with you. They're not the only reason why it bombed. The left is protesting this movie too. Do you guys want to know why? It's because Gal Gadot was a former IDF soldier. They're not saying that, but had Ziegler not spoken out and said what she said, the movie probably would have done better. So they're going to just blame it all on her because she's running her mouth. And the other issue, listen, Snow White was a pure white girl. I get it, MAGA. You wanted to be another pure white girl. They took the Little Mermaid away. Now they gave a brown girl this role again. So I think that's half of it too. So they're blaming this girl running her mouth. Mind you, she's 23 years old. I'm not agreeing with what she says because she said some insufferable things. But to sit there and blame her for all of it, to me, is not fair. There's top 3 reasons why. One, people are sick of them replacing white characters with women of color and rewriting the story. I understand it. I totally get it. Give more brown girls, black girls, new characters. Don't rewrite and take from those white characters. I'll be honest with you. That's really the reasons I've heard from people. Number 2, homegirl ran her mouth. I get it. But number 3, I can tell you from personal conversations with people on the left, they are protesting the reason for the reason I said. I'm not saying it's right, but those are the 3 valid reasons that I feel like people are not talking about. They keep focusing, beating this girl down, saying she's the reason why. They actually cleaned up the movie because they made fun of the dwarfs, but the dwarfs were originally going to be like a diverse character group. Like they were going to have black dwarfs and Spanish dwarfs, and they didn't like that. So they cleaned it up and they made them look more historical, like the German setting from the Snow White movie. And so that wasn't enough. So now we're attacking, going back, digging things that this girl had said from 4 or 5 years ago. And Disney knew about it when they hired her. So obviously Disney didn't have a problem with it. Again, the reason why the movie flopped is because the left and the right protested, and I'll leave it there.
Weren't the dwarves animated? They were real people?
Yes, but initially they were going to have them as real people, but it got leaked and people found, they're not telling you that part. You would have to find that. And they recreated it.
What I heard was the guy from Game of Thrones, they called him and said, hey, should we put little people in this movie? And he said, no, it's demeaning. And the little people community got mad at him because they said he was taking away jobs from people. That's what I heard previously when it was like being filmed.
Well, they filmed it with real little people. Those people that you see is not the real people, obviously. And that was the other controversy.
So Enzo, you're a TikTok live guy, and I got this topic from seeing people on TikTok saying that they destroyed the actress because people didn't go see the movie. Have people been talking about this on TikTok live? Like, what's your thoughts?
See, I haven't really heard anything about it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just against them remaking movies, to be honest with you. Not because of who they're putting as the lead, like The Little Mermaid. No, like, great. If the movie was good, the movie was good. Like, I saw the new Lion King that they made a couple years ago. I was like, this is shit. The movie's great already. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. Like, there's certain movies you just don't remake. I don't care. Come up with a new concept at the end of the day. But what Nora was saying, that they were talking about, the one person was IDF soldier. I get it from the Democrat side. I don't want to sit here and say, like, the right made this movie bomb. It was a 1 star on the IMDb. That's from the critics. That's not from the people. That means the movie is just shit. So, literally, there's so many factors that play into that.
And I'll say this, feminism was a big part of the movie, and I didn't like what they did. They took away the love story aspect of it. They shouldn't have did that. In real life, girls want to grow up. They want to find their husband and get married. I don't see what's wrong with that. They shouldn't have taken that out of it. And that was part of the problem too.
And I agree with you guys. Like, we should just focus on giving minority movies, give them their own movie rather than remake a movie. I saw a guy make a TikTok and he said that they do this on purpose because they're making Snape, the guy from Harry Potter, black. So they're like, oh, they do this in Hollywood on purpose to create division by taking characters and changing their race. So do y'all think Hollywood does this on purpose?
Yeah, I could see that. How they're just trying to keep up with the times. Like, I heard that they were going to make James Bond black. I'm like, what? Like, I'm cool with it, like, regardless, but, like,
right.
Just make a new character based off of him at that point. It's just going to be weird. Like, if I see somebody else and Daniel Craig play James Bond alone, I'll be like, bro, this is weird. That's who I grew up with.
For sure. Laura, you think
The Little Mermaid did good, y'all. I mean, but that's how, do you see the point I'm making to y'all though? The left and the right supported the Little Mermaid. The left went hard for the Little Mermaid, just to be clear. I remember sitting with my daughter and her friends. We saw the preview for the Little Mermaid, and my daughter looks over and she goes, the Little Mermaid ain't supposed to be black. And my daughter's black. And she even thought it was crazy. But it was a good movie. it did well. So part of me thinks that this was like my point proven. It's the left and the right protesting it. It's not one side doing it, because Little Mermaid still did good and people felt a type of way about them, casting Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid.
Well, you guys are on the right, so let me play what Ziegler said, and then about people on the right, and let's see if you guys, the video that offended conservatives and MAGA people, and I want to see if you guys still have the same empathy for her.
And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights. Come on. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
So I am so happy that America rejected Snow White, we rejected Rachel Zegler, and we rejected wokeness. We also rejected Kamala Harris. But the part that really both fascinates me and disgusts me about this video by Rachel Zegler is when she talks about reproductive health care, she's really referring to killing babies. And this is the face she makes. Like, she's literally taking joy in the idea of other women killing unborn children. This is a big reason why the Democrats lost in 2024 and will continue to lose future elections as long as they keep doubling down on insane wokeness while using some of the most unlikable and insufferable celebrities to represent their movement. I think Rachel Zegler needs to take a break from being in the spotlight and really dig deep and figure out why America rejected her and why we rejected things like reproductive freedom, which is just code word for killing babies. So yes, Rachel Zegler, we will be taking our business elsewhere as requested.
So you guys on the right, and Nora, you're always talking about your Christian faith. I mean, do you feel like she was being a villain or being like nefarious when she made that video and said what she said?
Yeah, she's a little witch. I mean, listen, she's anti-God, I'm sure, like the rest of the people on the left, anti-American values, anti-family values, and Disney, y'all should have did better vetting on this little bitch. I'm gonna put it out there like that. You should have vetted her better. And then your movie wouldn't have flopped because everybody would have then been able to blame Gal Gadot as well. Gal Gadot shouldn't have probably been cast. I'm gonna leave it at that. But she took the fall. She's gonna take the fall for it. But yeah, she sucks, and I don't feel sorry for her. Again, I don't feel sorry that she's getting all the blame. But what I do want people to focus on is I don't think this is just the right doing this. I think this is the left and the right unites on a lot of things more than we realize for different reasons. And I think we're uniting on us not supporting this movie for whatever our personal feelings are.
Enzo, did watching that make you feel any less empathy for her telling people to unfollow her if they weren't a part of MAGA? How do you feel?
I'm just so sick and tired of hearing that argument, reproductive rights and everything like that. It's just such a played out thing on the left that it just shows how uneducated people are on that side. Because I covered that topic extremely well to the point where I have liberals and Democrats who agree with me on why it was left to the states, why it should be the way that it is. It's just crazy to me that they're just like, oh, they're taking away freedom. They're taking away my rights as a woman. But like, so the hate that she's getting from the right on that, by all means, you deserve it because you're uneducated in my eyes. So let's put that as a part of why it failed now too.
Laura, how do you feel?
I mean, I feel like the little bitch has got to go. I mean, I don't feel sorry for her. I'm just sick of everybody blaming her as the only reason why. I think we also need to look within ourselves as American people and say, hey, we got sick of them replacing the white princesses with a brown girl, number one. Number two, Gal Gadot was a part of IDF, and she has made some strong comments on the Palestine-Israel conflict that needs to be highlighted as well. And number three, Disney, when you go woke, you go broke. Y'all been woke for too long. People are sick of it. That's the top three reasons.
Well, for our final topic, we're going to talk about Nora's celebrity crush, Andrew Tate, and what happened with him and his girlfriend after Trump let him back into the USA with his brother within 2 weeks of him just being here.
All I have to say is I'm vindicated.
You guys can shit, I'll let Nora know. Okay, Nora, you know more about this than me, so you want to explain to the viewers what happened?
Yeah, so I've done a deep dive on this, and Bree Stern is someone she made a post actually today on her Instagram. She linked up with Andrew Tate as a model for him for his crypto coin. And she had her own personal crypto coin called something sister. And so from there, they started this romantic relationship where she was going back and forth between America and Romania. And then they had promised to live together and start a life together in Miami. They were going to get a condo. And, she has pictures of them making out, the romantic. She just didn't think it could happen to her. She stood by him. She's shocked. But then he flipped on her and said he was going to choke her. And if she ever leaves him, he's going to rape her. It was craziness that this girl was saying. Listen, do I believe it? Yes. I keep trying to tell y'all red pill guys, this guy is a weirdo. He is an ex-trafficker. He is an abuser of women. Y'all must like that. Y'all must not care about your daughters, your mothers, your sisters, your wives. This is who you guys are looking up to. He's a weirdo. And he sued people last week. I know they feel so damn vindicated. He talked all that crap about Ron DeSantis, and shouts out to Ron DeSantis because he tried to, start an investigation, but somehow the idiot was able to fly to Vegas. And this incident ended up happening in Beverly Hills, by the way. So he made his way to California to go meet homegirl. I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't even feel sorry for y'all red pill losers because y'all keep defending this asshole. And I don't know what more you need to see. What more do you need to see about him? And it's the Matrix, it's the Democrats, it's liberals, it's feminists, it's everyone but Andrew Tate.
So is your mentality like Andrew Tate is like the king of red pill people?
Oh, absolutely. They all worship him, from Myron Gaines to they all look up to Andrew Tate, and they all defend him. And what's interesting to me is this girl's name is Bree Stern. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's what's interesting.
Enzo, I can never tell if you're just, MAGA, red pill. I don't know. So what's your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
This was a gut punch seeing that this morning, honestly. It was a gut punch to me because I actually did like Andrew. I like his brother more, honestly. I like Tristan a lot more. But I didn't. Okay, there's a lot of shit that he says where he's just downright wrong. That I'm like, bro, you're an idiot for the shit that you're saying. When all the allegations and everything came out, I looked into myself and I'm like, okay, if this becomes true, that's it. I'm good. I don't mess with the dude no more. It is what it is. Now, after hearing and seeing the video that I just saw, that's exactly where I'm at with it. I don't want to be that guy that sits there and defends that because I call that shit out all the time. There's two things in this world you don't do. You don't mess with women and you don't mess with children. Those have been my morals since I was a child, and that's how I'm standing on it. Dude's got to go.
For sure.
But why did this video change it? What changed it? This situation? Because she's American.
No, not because she's American. Because I looked into all the other cases, like the ex trafficking and the other allegations, everything like that. The one video that came out where he was abusing that girl in the bed,
it looks staged.
It does, and I can't tell who that really is because it's blurry, and it doesn't even sound like him at the end of the day. It sounded more like Tristan, and it looked like Tristan in the video. That's why I'm like, this is not.
But why do you believe this one though?
Because there's text messages of it, and the pictures. That's why.
Okay. Because they were kissing. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just at my wit's end with it. After so many allegations, I'm just like, come on, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep up with it anymore. The guy's cool. There's a lot of good shit that he says, but if that's what he's really standing on, that's really who he is. That's it. Same thing with Kanye. When I saw him last week with Nick Fuentes wearing the nice chain, I was like, nope, that's it. I don't mess with him no more. I'm done.
Right.
Same thing. Done.
For sure. Dora?
I just feel vindicated, and I wish the Red Pill guys from the Man Cave were on tonight. I would love to hear what 85 had to say.
I think they're boycotting your show. I think they're like, we're not going over there anymore. But
saying or hurt my feelings.
But it was just us three, so I guess we get done a little early tonight. So Nora, I'll let you go with your final thoughts. And I know you're sick and everything.
So my final thoughts is this: America, you need to wake up. You are being bamboozled, hoodwinked, distracted. There's a lot going on in America right now. But what you should not be focusing on, even though we talked about it, Snow White, Jasmine Crockett, all the performative bullshit. Wake up, open your eyes. You should be calling out the signal gate. You should be asking questions. We should be asking more questions on, are we headed to World War III, full steam ahead? First it's Yemen, next is Iran. Do you want your sons, your daughters going over there to fight? That's what we should be calling out. That's what we should be looking into. Stop being distracted. And that's it for me.
Okay, for sure. Enzo, what's your closing thoughts?
There was a lot we went over. With Pete, absolutely, like I said, he absolutely needs to, they need to replace him. He needs to resign. Because like Nora was saying about World War III, I really realistically think at this point, if he's still in charge, we're going to go towards World War III. That's my honest thoughts with him. This is something that absolutely needs more light on it. We need to find out more information on it. Just from what I've seen, and that's terrible. That's terrible. Like, why is that being leaked at the end of the day? Like, how did this reporter get in there? Who's paying this reporter? Like you said with the Venmo thing, what other reporters are being paid that are getting information? With the whole Snow White situation, I mean, it's just a terrible movie. It is what it is. Left and right, we're both boycotting it. And then with Andrew Tate, honestly, guys, open your eyes, please. Please. We don't need that. There's plenty of other masculine men out there that we can all idolize and be happy with that are questionable characters. Not to that point though, but open your eyes, guys, please. That's it.
For sure. Well, my closing thoughts are, thank you to all the viewers that came. Thank you to Enzo and Nora. We're going to keep bringing you guys great content. Every Tuesday and Thursday is a new party at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll keep bringing you guys new guests, and just put it in the comments if you want us to cover a certain topic. Just keep rocking with us. My final thoughts is like the Republican Party. I knew this was going to happen to you guys. I'm enjoying the show. Everybody just try and get along. You know what I'm saying? So, like we always say on the new party. Always
vote.
Always vote.
For sure.
God bless.
You guys have a good night.
Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.